Thank you, Ms. Luper. General Whitley, if you would come forward.
Thank you. General, I think the one thing everybody here agrees on is you ought not to leave a loaded gun lying around that a kid could get a hold of.
Right.
So with that premise, all of us in agreement. You know, common sense would say that an adult should be responsible for that if a child were to get a hold of a loaded gun and you know, either just discharge it or discharge it hurt somebody or in the sad case here, you know, discharge kill somebody. So common sense would say the adult ought to be responsible, but am I hearing you say that there's nothing currently under Tennessee code that would allow you to prosecute a parent? And the point of my question is just to ask, is this not addressed anyplace else in code? And I know you talked about it a minute ago, but I'm just having a hard time wrapping my brain around the fact that this is something that is such common sense that we don't have anything that addresses it already.
I didn't mean to say that you couldn't prosecute it at all under current law. Personally, I don't think I've ever prosecuted one myself. I can't recall that, but I have prosecuted cases where people have left out cocaine on the table or on the counter and a child got into that. It's the same principle. It's reckless endangerment to have an attractive nuisance, so to speak, a firearm or anything else that a child could get into that would harm himself. You'd have to have the right set of facts to be able to do it, but there could be a prosecution under reckless endangerment. It would just be more difficult than it would be if a bill such as this were to be passed.
Well, the second part of this is when I look at what provides the exception or what provides the defense is if you secure it in a lockbox or gun safe. Do you get into a situation where that can get picked apart? I mean, is that I know on the one hand you can't have too specific language as to what constitutes a gun safe or whatever, but is it also too vague? Does it, you know, if you're a sharp prosecutor, can you find a way around that as a defense, or what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not really sure, Senator. I haven't seen the bill or studied this bill. I'm just speaking in general terms. If you have the right set of facts, it can be prosecuted under reckless endangerment. If there's a lockbox or someone has taken reasonable steps to keep it away from the child or educated the child, but a lot of different defenses could be raised that would make reckless endangerment not be a liable prosecution. If you have, just speaking hypothetically, if you have several neighborhood children over playing in the house and there's a loaded revolver there easily accessible to any one of them, certainly that would be reckless endangerment. You have to have the right facts and circumstances.
And then finally, you know, we've extended the castle doctrine to include somebody's vehicle. What would any of this apply if this is a gun that's in somebody's vehicle?
It certainly should. If you leave children in a car with a gun readily available, it's loaded, no adult supervision, you're asking for trouble, and that is committing reckless endangerment.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate Senator Kyle saying she'd give us a little bit more time on this, and maybe we can all visit some more about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Bell.
Well, while General Whitley's here, I got a couple questions. As you've already said, a person could be prosecuted under current law,
yeah.
Reckless endangerment. You said it would be a tough prosecution. There'd have to be a certain set of facts.
That's right. You have to have the right facts.
Well, and again, I think it should be tough to prosecute somebody in their own home.
I do too.
I mean,
I
it should be very tough. And I look at this bill and I say, I want to know, what does recklessly place mean? A 13-year-old. There are many 13-year-olds who could be 5'10", could be as big as an adult. There's not many places in my house that I could put a gun, unless it was behind a lock and key, that a 13-year-old wouldn't be able to get to that gun. And again, I'm hoping that your support of this bill is not reflective of the DA conference, because I do have some issues with making it too easy to prosecute somebody in their own home.
I'm not speaking for the conference at all. And I can't agree with you more. You have to have the right facts and circumstances. Uh, and this would allow, I mean, I'm not here to advocate the bill. I'm just here to give you my opinion. Maybe I'm speaking beyond my own knowledge. But if you have the right facts and circumstances, I think it could be prosecuted under reckless endangerment. But certainly, I would really want to be confident that there certainly was an element of recklessness that could be proved beyond a reasonable doubt before I'd even think about bringing charges against somebody in his own home.
Absolutely.
But there are circumstances where that would be possible. But I've never prosecuted one like that. Fortunately, I've never had a child kill another child with a firearm, so that's probably the reason too.
And that's good. Chairman Kelsey, the only other question I have is not really to our witness, but I do have concerns about what recklessly place would mean in a court of law, would mean to a prosecutor. And again, I have concerns that in any time we start, we passed what's known as the castle doctrine because we recognize that this is a sacred place to a family, and anytime you're giving the state more power to prosecute a person in his castle, I think we have to be very, very careful as a legislature.
Thank you for those comments, Senator Bell, and I agree. Thank you, General Whitley, for your comments. I agree with your concern over the exact meaning of recklessly placed, and so with that, we'll go back into session and without objection go 2 weeks. Senator Kyle, thank you for your consideration for the committee.
And I just want to thank the committee. I was hoping for this type of discussion to see where we are and what we can answer. Again, this is about safe storage as it relates, to the public health, children under 13, the owner, so they'll be responsible. We're not solving the problem somehow, somewhere. So I appreciate the opportunity to get to come around and work with you all and answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Senator Kyle. Okay.